What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends podcast. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin on the show. What's up, Dustin?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. This is going to be our first fan requested segment. This will be the Tom Wilson incident and the fights around it in the NHL. So we're going to do these starting going forward. If you want us to talk any sports segment that we don't usually talk for 10 to 15 minutes, it'll be a real short one, once per week. Just let us know what you want us to talk about. So our first one is going to be the Washington Capitals and New York Rangers incident. Capitals Tom Wilson starts a fight, hitting a Rangers player while he's down on the ice in the back of the head and starting a big fight. Dustin, do you see this? What do you think of how the fight started? Did you think Tom Wilson was being dirty to start the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen throughout the first part of the game and the whole game. I mean, both of the teams were really had like anger towards each other, and it was just something bad was bound to happen.
Yeah, and all it takes is a guy like Tom Wilson, who's a dirty player, a repeat offender, someone who's known for this type of stuff, to take it a little too far and then to see shit hit the fan. Um, the Rangers jump on Wilson to defend their teammate, and it turns into an all-out brawl. Rangers star player Artemi Panarin jumps on Wilson, but Wilson throws him off as Panarin's helmet goes flying, ragdolls him to the ground, and he easily could have hit his head on the ice. Like, he got thrown hard. I just feel like what Tom Wilson was doing was dangerous. I mean, definitely dirty, and someone could have got majorly hurt in the incident. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, and just to give the man a fine, there should definitely be a suspension in there. I mean, how much more is the league going to take of him being a dirty player?
Yeah, they keep allowing him to do what he's doing. After the scrum, you can see Tom Wilson in the penalty box flexing at Rangers players. Even after the fight, no remorse, just saying "come at me" or "let's keep it going." After the game, the Rangers were pretty upset. They posted on social media a message saying they were unhappy with the NHL's decision to not suspend Wilson, saying, quote, "Wilson is a repeat offender with a long history of these types of acts, and we find it shocking that the NHL and their Department of Player Safety failed to take appropriate action and suspend him indefinitely." Tom Wilson gets fined $5,000 for the incident, and that's it. Meanwhile, the Rangers are fined $250K for this message that they posted. So the Rangers get fined so much more worse for calling out the NHL compared to Tom Wilson, who's a repeat offender and causing all the issues. Do you think that's a just penalty by the NHL, or are they tripping?
Absolutely not. I mean, you would rather give somebody a bigger fine for just saying words instead of somebody who's being violent. I mean, it's somebody could have got hurt and injured compared to just somebody's feelings being hurt.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because we cover the NFL. To me, Tom Wilson reminds me of a guy like Vontaze Burfict, and he's been suspended so much he's been put out of the league. He can't get back into the league because of all of his suspensions, and the NHL doesn't seem to care. I mean, like, Panarin is a star player, one of the best players in hockey. Let's say Vontaze Burfict hit Aaron Rodgers like that. Do you think Burfict's not getting suspended and just getting a little ticky tack fine?
Oh no! Vontaze Burfict is probably getting a good 3-4 game suspension. We've already seen it.
Yeah, and so pretty crazy. And it's interesting to see the NHL kind of defending one of their bad guys, and they seem to want to keep the violence in the sport. And if you're not gonna address it and find it appropriately and show Tom Wilson and the rest of the league that kind of action is not going to happen in their sport, by defending it like this, it's going to keep it coming. And, I think the Rangers and Capitals will be going at it for a while over this incident. Fortunately for us, these two teams played again against each other on Wednesday, 2 days after the incident. When the puck dropped, 3 different fights immediately started. No one was playing hockey. It was just instant fighting. And that went on throughout the start of the game, throughout the first 5 minutes. Um, I think if the NHL had suspended him and fined him appropriately, more importantly, suspended him, there wouldn't have been all this fighting to begin the game, the next game. Do you agree?
Absolutely, and I mean the Rangers were pretty pissed off, being fined $250,000.
Yeah.
So but unfortunately, in today's world, any professional sport, it's bad. But if you're a GM or a coach or an owner, you have to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, and the thing is that fighting is part of hockey. It's part of the NHL. So even when the Rangers and Capitals fought the next game, they were like clean about it. They didn't fight dirty. They waited for each other to get their gloves off. They fought straight up. You know, they were pissed off, but they did it the right way. And to me, Tom Wilson is just everything that's wrong with the game right now. The fact that they would allow him to continue to do this, they're not going to protect a star player, and they're just going to, it was close to being, imagine if Panarin had gotten actually hurt, in this incident. It would have been a much bigger deal. And the NFL keeps talking about, player safety and getting cheap shots and head injuries out of the sport. Meanwhile, this is what these actions like this based off a fight shows what they truly believe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's because it brings ratings, and that's what fans want to see. I'm not 100% sure about that, but
well, I mean, there's a line to go too, and if you cross that line, you should be suspended. I would think it's pretty simple that way, and I'm just shocked that the NHL chose to defend, a player with a long history of incidents like this and go harder at the team than they did the player. So it's really interesting.
yeah, it is, and I guess we'll just have to see. I mean, if Tom Wilson keeps doing it, then the NHL is gonna have to have no choice. I mean, it's gonna start causing long-term issues.
Yeah, and so we'll see. It created a bunch of buzz for sure. It's got me and you talking about it. We don't usually talk NHL, but it was a big story, a big incident. Everyone saw the video, and if you haven't, go check it out. Check out Tom Wilson, Rangers, Capitals fights. Pretty crazy, pretty intense, and a lot of craziness. So, what do you think would have been the appropriate punishment? Like, how long would you have suspended him for? The rest of the season? I mean, the season's almost over.
I mean, the rest of the season is kind of too harsh. In my opinion, I would have fined him maybe 25, 30,000 to
Yeah,
actually make it feel, like it hurt the pocketbook a little bit, and give him a 2-game suspension.
yeah, yeah. I think it would have cut down on all the issues. 25K is a lot more realistic than 5K. I mean, what's 5K doing to a professional athlete? Nothing.
That's
So,
just like us giving, a few quarters. Like it's
yeah.
chump change.
But all right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, we're going to keep these little short segments coming out. Doesn't have to be NFL or NBA. It can be whatever you want to talk about. Just let us know. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks, Dustin, for coming on. And have a
All right.
great week, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and peace out.